帰宅した兄様から黒さんの甘い香りがいたしましたね。
That night, Michiru suddenly came into my room and spoke a single sentence which made me freeze on the spot. No, there's a good reason for that.
何を敬語になっているのですか？
I can't lie to you, Michiru, and I don't want to lie to you.
前科はありますよね。黒さんとは距離を置くと言ってましたのに。
I don't want to lie if I don't have to.
自分に正直であることは美徳です。
I guess you'd know that better than anyone. You always have been honest with yourself about every slightest whim. I whispered that last sentence under my breath, hoping she wouldn't hear it.
当然、私は自分が一番マイペースであることを自覚しています。だからこそ、頭ごなしに他人の意見を否定しません。
You heard me?
耳が良いもので。
She grinned.
だから、私個人では、兄様のすることを止めはしません。そもそも、私は兄様に逆らうことができませんからね。
Do you understand what I'm doing? She was definitely in on something I wasn't. My brow furrowed at her words.
私たちがしてほしくないことをなさろうとしている。つまり、兄様が命を落としかけたという夕暮れのモノレールに戻ろうとしている。兄様こそもうお気づきなのでしょ？
Michiru smiled. The very fact that the smile was not receding from her face was the clearest signal of all that she was worried about what I was doing. So that girlfriend who was with me on the monorail, there's a possibility it could have been Crow, isn't there? That was my answer. Crow had been stripped of her original purpose as the goddess' method of communicating with humans because she had become more friendly with humans than was necessary. Which was why the goddess' true form had appeared before me. For her to kill a part of herself was meaningless, so she wished to kill me instead. Such was the simplistic fashion in which she made decisions. I had no proof that this method of thinking was really how she thought, but it certainly made sense.
やっぱり私たちと同じ結論に達していましたか。
By the rest of us, do you mean yourself, Misaki and Miu?
はい。
It wasn't all that surprising for those three to be involved. Rather, it was the other two girls' names not being mentioned that was surprising. Perhaps it was only because they were in a different grade level, but Didi and Makoto were the exceptions. So, if you don't intend to stop me, did you only come here to say that to me?
いいえ。兄様がすることを止めはしませんが、私は私たちのすることを確認しに来たのです。
Huh?
兄様を救うための手段ですよ。
Have you thought of something?
アイディアだけならいくつかは。
I quietly listened to her. If she had an idea that would save my life without exposing me to danger, that would be perfect for me too.
まず、兄様の持っている時計を壊すことができれば、神様はもう二度と出てこれないのではないですか？
Oh, I see what you mean. It was a terribly simple idea. But that won't work at all. You can't destroy this watch, not because I won't let you, but because this watch is physically unbreakable. The pocket watch would turn back time if it was broken, and for an hour after that, it would be completely unbreakable no matter what you did. It was protected by the power of time.
そうですか。まあ、それで解決するなら、兄様がもうしているだろうとは、私たちも考えましたが、壊せないのなら、遠くに捨ててくるのはどうです？
Maybe that'd work if you threw the pocket watch into the sea, but something terrible could happen once I let go of the pocket watch, and by then I'll have sealed my fate, since I won't be able to turn back time anymore. It's like a catch-22.
私たちも同じ結論に達しています。
Say, by we, I'm guessing you just mean Miu for the most part?
はい、そうです。
Should have guessed it.
では、時計ではなく、クロさんがいなくなったらどうです？
Don't kill her, please. What? That was a shock to hear.
アイディアとして思いついただけのことと、先に断りを入れておきますが、時計ではなく、クロさんは。
Stop. I cut Michiru off before she could finish her sentence. I don't care if it's just an idea. Fuck that.
わかりました。兄様が気を悪くされたのなら、すみません。
Michiru quietly bowed her head. However, there was a fierce determination in Michiru's unseeing eyes.
その反応でしたら、可能性はあるということですね。
Is that something you managed to confirm?
兄様を救うためでしたら、どんな手段であろうと、さまつなことです。
Damn it, my head's spinning. Doesn't that sound like a declaration of war? So, in all actuality, how motivated are you to do this, Michiru? Do you really intend to take action against Crow? I was going to give her a stern warning if she said yes, but Michiru just shrugged her shoulders.
実際のところでは、全くピンときておりません。私の基準で言えば、クロさんを亡き者にすることには、さほど抵抗はありません。
Well, I'm gonna fucking object. Your perspective's scaring me here.
まあまあ。しかし、クロさんに手を出せば、兄様に嫌われること間違いなしですから。私にとっては、こちらの方が問題です。
Just so we're on the same page, even if it'd be in the name of saving my life, you're not going to do anything to stop Crow?
私、兄様に嫌われたまま生きていくくらいなら、兄様に好かれたまま共に命を落とす方が好みです。
Bravo! I was a bit shocked, but I was actually grateful to hear that. Her own degenerate morality had turned back on itself and become virtuous, like some kind of Ouroboros. Honestly, I would expect nothing less from my little sister.
お褒めに預かり光栄です。
So, was that all?
以上です。
Sorry to drag you into all this. I owed her an apology. In the end, this entire dilemma had all started with that pocket watch, with Chronos' clock.
兄様から何か言っておくことはないのですか？
Well, to you I should say, I hope I can count on you. Honestly, despite everything that's happened with Crow, I still like you, and I definitely have a soft spot for my little sister, so please don't be too hard on me.
かしこまりました。
Michiru responded with a slow nod, and a voice whose true feelings I was unable to discern.
ところで、兄様、クロさんに手を出されるのなら、もう私に手を出し直しても問題ないということではありませんか？
Go back to your room.
私はとても寂しいので、久しぶりに兄様と添い寝したかっただけなのですが。
I don't have the will to let you do that right now. I had to prevent myself from getting into that situation, since I wouldn't be able to resist her if it actually happened.
その答えが聞ければ、今日のところは十分ですね。それでは、みちるは一人寂しくシーツを濡らして寝ます。
How are you going to comfort? No, forget it. I don't want to know.
おやすみなさいませ。
Yeah, good night. While keeping my guard up, I watched her leave the room and close the door. Yeesh! I sighed as I laid back down on the bed. My gaze idly wandered across the ceiling. Michiru's fragrance still lingered in the room. Up until now, I had thought that things would progress peacefully, since the only problem was whether or not I was willing to risk my life, but no. I was starting to realize that all the girls who had been my reliable allies for so long could soon become obstructions to me. They're just too reliable. That was almost funny in itself. Just as DD had said, Michiru wasn't all that dangerous owing to her honesty. Miu was safe too. DD could have been dangerous in a way, given her obstinance about following through on any decision she made, but she had already given me her support. In that case, it really was just Misaki and Makoto who could end up causing trouble for me. I guess I'll have to double check a little something tomorrow then. What would come of it? I unconsciously grimaced as I muttered to myself. Something's gotta give here, I just know it. Despite complaining to myself, for some reason I was looking forward to it. The next day, entering the classroom, I spotted Makoto right away. I thought about casually chatting with some of the other girls, but Makoto and DD already made a fuss about me the other day, and though it turned out to not be that big of a problem in the end, it was still too late for me to chat up any other girls. Good morning, Makoto.
Ohayo, ohayo!
You must be in a good mood too, Makoto.
私も
Oh, it's just that Michiru was in a good mood too.
みちるちゃんはいつだってご機嫌でしょ
I suppose so. After saying hello and making small talk, we got to the main topic of conversation. By the way, there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
ここだとまずい
If possible, I'd like to talk somewhere else.
告白かな
Makoto jokingly said that out loud so that other people would overhear her, and then went out into the hallway. Of course, having gotten their attention, all of my classmates ended up directing glares at me. I just shrugged. Wish me luck. I chased after Makoto with people behind me cheering me on. She didn't say where we would meet up, but I had a pretty good hunch of where Makoto would be. Should have guessed it.
何が
Nothing, I just had a feeling it'd be the rooftop.
そりゃまあね。裸になっても大丈夫なくらい人はいないし。特に朝は。
Makoto waved her hand in the air.
ホームルームまでそんなに時間ないし。用事はクロちゃんのこと
I'm just gonna come right out and say this. Michiru and the others had an idea that could potentially be dangerous for Crow. You're not in league with them, are you?
ああ、そういうことね。ようやくあの3人も動き始めたんだ。
Makoto sounded surprised to hear me say that. Her reaction made it quite clear that she wasn't conspiring with the others. You started to notice the change in Crow a while ago, didn't you? It was Makoto who had predicted I'd throw my own life away for someone else's sake after all.
まさか、その相手がクロちゃんになるとは思ってなかったけど。
What? You were thinking it'd be you?
うんにゃ。美咲ちゃんあたりだと思ってた。
Though this was a serious matter, Makoto treated it carefree as ever. Something didn't seem right, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. I decided to investigate a little further. Now that I know that you are not in league with them, I need to ask this. Do you intend to try and stop me? Makoto's shoulders tensed up a little bit at my question, as if her casual, easygoing attitude had changed.
どうしようかなとは考えてたよ、正直。私もレイ君のことが好きだし、感情と理性の問題なんだよね。
Reason against emotion?
理性ではレイ君を応援したくて、感情ではレイ君を止めたい。
So, which one of those viewpoints is winning out right now?
趣味の分もあるから、理性かな。
Your hobbies?
人気映画とかでさ、出入りに向かう主人公を泣いて止めようとする女性とかいるけど、あれの主人公が理性で、女性が感情なんだよ。そういう場面で私がどっちを好きかはわかるでしょ
Oh, right. I understand. It was almost too easy to understand her example. Besides, didn't she give me a similar kind of example before as well? She really is into those kinds of films, I suppose. Alright, thanks. Let's just hope your reason wins out.
知的な誠ちゃんに任せて。
Right. That was quite an unbelievable response she gave, but it was good enough for me. After all, homeroom was just about to start. When we returned to the classroom, all eyes were on me and Makoto. With an unshakable grin, I made a show of ostentatiously crossing my arms in front of everyone. A small commotion of voices rang out.
何これ?
Not understanding the meaning behind what I had just done, Makoto cocked her head to the side in confusion. I almost pity those poor schmucks. And then, looking for my next prey, I messaged Miu and Misaki and asked them to lunch.
何を言っておるのだ?
Well, I was hoping Misaki would show, but looks like she's not going to. Having eaten a sizable portion of my own lunch, I glanced around again to be sure.
美咲ちゃんは体調が悪いから外で食べるのはやめるって言ってましたけど、集まった時にもクエスチョンしてましたよね。
Well, it is so it is, I guess. I had a hunch that Misaki was fibbing about not feeling well. In fact, she must have been actively avoiding me. But she was still the only one left whom I needed to clear things up with. I was more worried about her than any of the other girls at this point, since she was clearly sulking about something.
それにしても、クロちゃんは可愛いですね。なんだ急に。いえ、なんだかこう、先輩なのに私と同じサイズなせいで親近感が湧いてしまって。それに、私たちの常識とはまるで違う知識を持っているので、話していて面白いのです。他のものにはないお主の察しの良さは我が輩にとっても心地よい。
If you're talking about size, then wouldn't Misaki be... Oh.
あって何ですか? あって
War! I'd never witnessed the likes of that death glare from you before.
まさしくクロさんは私たちと同じサイズなのです。透明ですね。ミユはともかく DD は我が輩より背が高いだろう。気にしないでください。イエス！そのままのクロさんでいてください。
I could see something strangely wistful in the smiles they wore.
それより性格的にバランスの良い2人が揃っているから質問したいのだが。何ですか？お答えできることならば。むしろお主ら2人が最高の相手だな。片やご主人の最初の相手であり、片や言い名付けだ。
Ugh. She just had to go and say that before I could stop her.
人を好きになるというのはどのようなものなのだ？それって、私はクロさんのことが好きですよ。聞き方が悪かった。男を好きになるということはお主たちにはどういうものなのだ？ What?
Didi was surprised, but Miu was already gazing at Crow with an intensely serious expression.
人を好きになる意味を他人に説明することはできますが、それを理解してもらうのは難しいです。それはきっと人間が一人一人ずっと問い続けていることだから答えはありません。ただその気持ちが自分の中にあると気づいた時にはもう遅いんです。それに気づいた時が人を好きになった時です。
Miu's soft-spoken words left enough of an impact to make me completely forget about the blazing heat. She had not worded it sharply, rather she spoke with the gentleness of a clear and flowing stream. Didi had also clamped up, listening intently to Miu's effort at explaining. Then, like always, a great big smile appeared on her face.
確かにいつの間にかですね。そして止められないものです。そうか。真摯に話してくれたことに感謝する。
Crow nodded. I was a bit worried that this would end poorly, but it seemed Crow had been right to ask them for advice. Maybe I'm being overprotective of Crow. Maybe there's some kind of unconscious wish I have to want a girl to be reliant on me. If I want her to be independent, she'll need to learn how to be independent from me as well.
何を考えておるのだ？似合わぬぞ。
Crow was gazing curiously at my face. Even I think about stuff sometimes, so don't say it doesn't suit me.
おお。
Crow's face was too close, so I pushed her away. Yeesh, aren't you quite the upstanding student?
もっと褒めるがよい。
Try learning about sarcasm sometime. I gave her a flick on the forehead, then heaved a sigh. Babysitting's such a pain in the ass.